Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a really interesting release from Hyperion. It's Havergal Brian's one-act opera Agamemnon, a 38-minute long opera. Brian actually intended it, or at least proposed, that it should be given as a prologue to Strauss's Electra. That was actually going to happen, right? Anyway, but it does actually give you the backstory rather nicely. And you also get Symphonies numbers 6 and 12 on this disc. It looks like there are signs of life at Hyperion. It was sponsored by the Havergal Brian Society. That must be an interesting group of people. And we've got, the English National Opera Orchestra, the English National Opera Chorus, and Soloists, Clytemnestra, Eleanor Dennis. Cassandra is Stephanie Wake Edwards. Agamemnon is John Findon. The Watchman is Robert Murray. And the Herald/Old Man is Clive Bailey. And actually, it's well sung. It really is surprisingly effective. It's exciting. It's a fun piece. And it's only 38 minutes long. But let's go through it in order and see what you get here. First, you get Symphony number 6, the Sinfonia Tragica. Now, this is the weakest thing on the disc. Symphony number 6 is a wonderful work. It's been recorded a couple of times, so we actually have comparisons. The first recording was Meyer Fredman's on Hyperion with Symphony number 16, and that is a first-class performance, and it's better than this one. It's about a minute and a bit or 2 minutes faster, which really matters in the concluding big section. It's like 5 minutes long. The whole work is only 16 to 18 minutes. But it ends with an allegro vivace. I mean, Brian is kind of like Bruckner. His idea of vivace is not anyone else's vivace, but it's supposed to move. And this performance doesn't. I don't understand what came over Brabbins, but he should have just picked up the tempo for that concluding section. It's just too slow. If you don't know the work, you may not notice anything, but believe me when I tell you, listen to it on Hyperion. It is a beautiful piece. It really is. It's what's tragic about it? Well, who knows? But it does have a theme that runs through it. That's a very, very simple theme. It's da 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 da. That's the theme. I mean, how many times have you run around humming Havergal Brian, right? I mean, I do, but other people, normal people generally don't. Anyway, so that's a little bit disappointing, I have to say. Symphony number 12 is much better. The whole symphony is only like 10 minutes long and 4-ish attached movements. It's actually a very exciting work, and it's well done here. And then we get Agamemnon. Oops, wrong opera, sorry. Anyway, what happens in Agamemnon? Well, he comes home and Clytemnestra kills him. That's the story. We know the story, right? And Cassandra is there too. Cassandra, by the way, there's a little thing you should know about Cassandra. Cassandra is, you know her from Les Troyens. She's always prophesying doom. She was beloved of Apollo. She was the son of King Priam and Hecate or Hercules, whatever her name was. I don't know. Anyway, she's cursed never to be believed. Apollo is a real jerk. You see, Apollo is in love with her and endows her with the gift of prophecy. But when she rejects him, he endows her with the gift of prophecy that no one will ever believe, even though she's always right. And she always foretells doom. I mean, she's not the kind of relative you'd want to show up at the family picnic. Let's put it that way. So she foretells the doom of Troy, and everyone, ignores her. She becomes the concubine of Agamemnon, who brings her home, much to Clytemnestra's dismay. And so Clytemnestra kills both of them with an axe. Usually we just hear about, Agamemnon being killed, but Cassandra gets it too. That all happens in this little opera with the chorus, moaning and groaning and talking about how awful everything is. It's powerful. It's a powerful piece, mostly because of the orchestral writing rather than the vocal writing. I mean, the vocal writing isn't bad. I mean, it gets the job done. It puts the story across. But Brian was not interested in the bel canto line. Let's put it that way. So the singers are declaiming as much as doing anything else, but the parts don't seem impossible, and these singers really give it their best. I have to say, Brabbins, I think, conducts a very fine accompaniment, so I'm not worried about that. This was a find. I mean, Havergal Brian people, of course, are going to want it as a matter, without any recommendation from me, because it's exciting to have. And, Havergal Brian wrote some big operas. He did The Tigers, he did Faust, he did Turandot. I mean, and they are ambitious, large works. This is something that's quite a bit more manageable and stageable, I would think. For I would like to say for like local opera companies. The problem is, of course, it's written with a huge orchestra. It's not easy, and it's not conventionally melodic in the sense that Brian was never atonal, but he was also never conventionally tuneful, or for very long, because his ideas tend to be quite brief and fleeting, and everything is always constantly in motion. But I really had fun listening to it. You get the text attached in the booklet. Very, very fine program note. Say what you will about the Havergal Brian Society. They know their guy, and they're able to write about him quite eloquently. So if you are looking for something really kind of interesting, I would give this a shot. But do get that Hyperion disc that has the 6th Symphony, Symphonies 6 and 16. A really, really, really first-class performances for comparative purposes. You may like this one better. I don't know. I mean, you do hear more detail at the slower tempo, but it's still not quite right in number 6. Otherwise, a fully recommendable release. So keep on listening, friends. Thank you for joining me. Take care.